I ran into this with one of my past clients. He was going to Airbnb a home and nobody wanted to insure him. That's why we're so glad you're here today, Chris, so that way you can kind of go over all of that. Man, I'm excited, dude. We are live now. I am really looking forward to this live stream today just because, we've been getting a lot of the viewers asking about insurance. People would say things like, man, my insurance just dropped me, or they didn't renew, or I'm trying to buy a house and I'm delayed in escrow now because it takes like 15 to 20 days for the whole policy thing to get rid of. So that's why we're so glad you're here today, Chris, so that way you can kind of go over all of that and talk about the changes. But yeah, I really want today to really just be about the insurance industry. So yeah, man, why don't you kind of introduce yourself and then we will go from there.
Sure, yeah. My name's Chris. I'm the owner of Kamara Insurance Agency here in the Sacramento area, and we're a small local agency, and we're just trying to help people the best we can.
How long you been in the industry now? And then you're a broker, right?
I'm an independent agent, yeah. So we shop multiple carriers. We're not a captive. We have the option of going to many different carriers to best suit our clients. This agency, we made 2 years this month, and I've been in the insurance industry for about 6 years now.
Who was you with before? Can you mention that?
I was a producer at a Goosehead agency.
So you've been in the industry, you say, for 16 years or 6 years?
6 years, yeah.
6 years. So you were with them for 4 years before you started your own agency.
I was with them for about a year and a half. Before that, I was with another agency.
And when you say insurance, is it just home insurance, auto insurance, life insurance? What is it?
We do everything in my agency except for life insurance. I refer that out to my trusted partners.
Everything except life insurance. Okay, good to know. So what about like investors? I ran into this with one of my past clients. He was going to Airbnb a home and nobody wanted to insure him.
So your typical homeowner policy, there are certain carriers that will write those. And now there's other carriers that will write investment properties or habitational risks. So habitationals are like quadplexes, duplexes, apartment buildings, stuff that investors would buy, not just your single family homes. So there's other carriers that have come in to fill the void where the admitted carriers aren't. And myself personally, I have 3 different carriers that will write that type of product. And I don't have all the carriers, but I do have 3, and there are others that are coming in non-standard.
Even short-term rentals?
Multiple family, habitational, short-term rentals, things of that nature, yeah.
Man, and how much are the rates though?
You don't want to know.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. And like some of these companies that do insure these short-term rentals or investment properties in general would require the landlord to like update their water meter or update certain things, like electrical panels that's 10 years old.
Not that old. The biggest one is roofs. If they don't like the roof, that's the biggest thing for most carriers. Electrical panels have to be updated generally within 25 years, water heaters, things like that, HVAC units. But the biggest one that's an issue for a lot of people is roofs.
Can you dive more into why roofs?
Roofs are the biggest risk if you think about it. So water, as much as we like water, water is so damaging to structures that, let's say you have a roof like my home. I have a tile roof. Tile roofs last forever compared to comp shingle roofs. But let's say there's a leak. Let's say I don't notice anything on my roof, right? And it's going down the wall. And then summer comes, dries up, everything, but it's still causing damage to the wall. By the time you figure out how much damage is there, it's now gone from a simple fix the roof and maybe $1,000 to now there's mold and everything else. It's just such a huge risk for carriers that they want a newer roof. And that's what has determined whether or not they'll write a property.
Yeah, Charles don't really like tile roofs.
Yeah, there's a reason. There's a reason for that. There's hidden things. That's the problem. So, like you said, roofs, and then HVAC. Maybe not so much with HVAC, but then they're having problems with like condensate lines leaking and things like that. Or they're not going to cover an HVAC unit not working right. But it's what the HVAC unit does to the house if it's leaking or if it catches on fire or things like that, right?
Correct.
Man, that's crazy. And then, so that basically, it eliminates all Zinsco panels because they're talking about 25 years.
I don't have a single carrier that will write Zinsco. None.
Wow.
Wait, what?
And they haven't been writing for years, honestly. I don't know anybody that has written the Zinsco in years.
What is
Wow.
It's a specific type of panel, breaker panel, that used to cause a bunch of fires, and they don't make them anymore. I think they stopped
that?
making those in the early 90s, maybe late 80s.
80s, they started to not include them anymore in homes.
So you're talking about homes now, and I know I'm old, but you're talking about 30, 40-year-old homes now.
God, this is so interesting and kind of upsetting at the same time, because then we have to share a lot of this information to, it's not even about just educating them about buying a home now or getting pre-approved. It's about educating them with their insurance policy now and what they're paying for and all that. You probably have to educate a lot of your clients now too, right, Chris, before you write them a policy?
Oh yeah, it's definitely a more in-depth conversation for most people.
With that, again, Chris, thank you. I'm gonna
Happy out.
log us out and we're gonna let you guys go. Okay, Chi fams, thank you again. Take care. Peace out.